Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, we know that internet freedom is at peril. Every turn, they're trying to pass new legislation that would, of course, lock up the freedom that we have on the internet right now. We've reported before about Facebook and other social media outlets censoring posts. Meanwhile, they'll leave up ISIS beheading videos and things like that. Now, we've also talked about how one of Breitbart's reporters had their check mark removed off of Twitter. And this was apparently in response to a lot of social justice warriors. They didn't like the content that he was posting, so they got his check mark removed. So now he's not official anymore. Well, now it turns out that Twitter is actually shadow banning people in real life. It's real. It's happening every day. And this is according to an inside source that this reporter at Breitbart was able to speak to. And they're shadow banning politically inconvenient users. So according to this source who works inside the company, they said Twitter maintains a whitelist of favored Twitter accounts and a blacklist of unfavored accounts. Accounts on the whitelist are prioritized in search results, even if they're not the most popular among users. Meanwhile, accounts on the blacklist have their posts hidden from search results and other people's timelines. Now, shadow banning is called stealth banning or hell banning, and it's commonly used by online community managers to block spam. But this way, they do it sort of in a shadow sense, so the spammers don't they don't know that their status, that they've been blocked, because they would just create a new account if that was the case. So now, for weeks, people on Twitter have been reporting tweets from populist conservatives and members of the alternative right, cultural libertarians, and other anti-PC dissidents have been disappearing from their timelines. I know a lot of people have been saying they couldn't find me on Twitter, and I'm not even as outrageous as some people that are out there. But this is, of course, following Twitter's announcement of their Trust and Safety Council, which we told you about. It's packed with left-wing advocacy groups, as well as Islamic Research Center, the Wahid Institute. We have Sarkeesian, the girl that went to the United Nations to ask them to ban and start banning people on the internet who call girls stupid. And, these are the type of people that are now part of the Ministry of Truth there at Twitter. So now I know a lot of people say, well, you know what, fine, then jump off these social media accounts, get off Twitter, don't use their products. But that's the wrong move. What we need to do now more than ever is get louder than ever, have a bigger voice than ever. Twitter has been experiencing rapid decline in their stock shares. So this is the time for the investors to start looking and saying, wow, well, now they're trying to play political games and they're blocking out a huge voice, which another platform could rise up in its place for all of these disbanded users. So just like Alex Jones, he goes to Facebook, they want to ban our content. They won't post our articles or allow you to share our articles. So what does Alex do? Rather than jump off Facebook, he gets on Facebook mentions, and now he gets millions of views on Facebook. And that's what it's about, is just dominating, using their own platforms to dominate them. So everybody go join Twitter and follow all of the outrageous anti-PC accounts, including me. I'm at Leanne McAdoo. And that's not it. We also know that they are trying to see something, say something, the internet. If you recall that little program that was introduced following the September 11th, 9/11 attacks. Well, now Department of Homeland Security wants an extra $1 million next year so they can develop a public service campaign designed to increase awareness of online threats. So they just want, the Ministry of Truth is real. 1984 was not supposed to be an instruction manual. Jakari Jackson has more.
Thank you, Liam. Now, you guys have probably heard about the See Something, Say Something campaign, and I took this to heart a couple of years ago. I picked up the phone and I called the Department of Homeland Security because I was very concerned that I'd found out that a group was buying millions of bullets of ammunition. Now, that alone is not a crime, and let's say if I went to a sporting goods store like Cabela's or Academy Sports and Outdoors, if I saw a guy buying a case of ammo, I wouldn't think twice about it. But talking about this group, they not only were buying millions of bullets, they were also buying paper targets of little children. So I picked up the phone and I called the Department of Homeland Security and I said, hey, I know about this group buying these bullets. They're buying these paper targets of little children. They said, who are you talking about, sir? I said, the Department of Homeland Security. They said, thank you for calling. which is to say when you see something and you say something, they don't necessarily take it very serious. And now we have this article by Kurt Nimmo today. Feds roll out see something, say something for the internet. And basically they're encouraging the citizenry to report, I guess is the best way that you could put it, on social media activity. But the issue is they're telling you that if you see something online to report it, but you guys also have to remember that ISIS is allowed to operate on many social media sites because they're monitoring their activity. And even if it is a legitimate ISIS site, or maybe it's not a legitimate ISIS site, we also have the document right here. Hackers trace ISIS Twitter accounts back to the internet addresses linked to the UK government. So ISIS is allowed to operate online on the social media sites, but they're also having IP addresses and other things linked to the UK government. So how secure are the things really? Now, this isn't to say that, you should just ignore, if somebody's saying they're going to blow up a school or something like that, you may take that serious. But also, there's going to be a lot of internet censorship. For example, a lot of people, they get on video games, they play Xbox Live or whatever, kids talking about, I'm going to come kill you and blah, blah, blah. With all these new social justice moderators out there documenting everything you say and do, you could get a visit to your house by a federal agent. And matter of fact, that did happen. Actually, I believe that happened here in Austin just a few years ago. And this is something a little bit off of the See Something, Say Something campaign, but I think it's also interesting. We have that Twitter is shadow banning real people and real happenings every day, says an inside source. Basically, if you have a conservative voice, you could be blacklisted, according to the article, and not be allowed to have your message reach as many people. By contrasting that, they also have a whitelist of people they promote, even if they're not very popular. So going all the way back here to the beginning of the deal, See Something, Say Something, I'm not that convinced that this is going to do that much. The DHS department is spending about $1 million taxpayer dollars to get this thing started, and we'll see what happens. Thank you so much, and back to you, Leanne, in the studio.
Now, here's a little see something, say something that I can get into. This is a very blunt message coming from Captain Clay Higgins out of Louisiana. He is directing a warning at a gang there that's been kind of infiltrating their town, committing murders and a lot of violence there. They've been able to apprehend 10 of these guys. I guess 7 more are now on the run. And because of this fear that they could be potentially moving about, he has issued this extremely blunt warning to the people of his town, and now this video is going viral.
I encourage every citizen watching this to look into your own heart and find the American courage that conquers all evil. Come forward with information about these heathens that have terrorized your community. And for those who would use this message as a way to create false racial division in our country, take a close look behind me. Standing next to every cop is a leader of our black community. This is not about race. It's about right versus wrong.
I think that's going to have a really positive effect on that city. It's going to let people know it's time for people to stand up, take our country back, quit buckling under these heathens, and quit buying into this divide and conquer tactic. Now, today, the police have actually released the video of the attack that took place on an Iraq war veteran outside of a McDonald's in D.C. It was a hate crime, and that's why he's speaking out. He wants people to know that this was a hate crime. He says, they targeted me because of my skin color. So we're seeing a lot of these events of people being attacked because they're white. And this is Christopher Marquez. He's 30. He's an Iraq war veteran. He was eating in the back corner of a McDonald's when a group of teens and young men approached him and said, do you believe that Black Lives Matter? And then they attacked him. So, the big issue here is that it's not racist. It can't be a hate crime because they're white. Only white people are racist. And that's why I really shut down the whole Black Lives Matter movement when they started going with that, because I don't agree with that. And we're going to start seeing some more of these attacks going on. And of course, the president has been completely silent about this attack, completely silent about the now 8 officers who've been brutally gunned down by assailants. But the president does have time to meet with D. Ray McKesson, who's, of course, the prominent Black Lives Matter activist. He's going to meet with him, other civil rights leaders. He's not going to go to Scalia's funeral, doesn't have time for that. But, of course, he has time to push the divide and conquer agenda. You know what? Let's go back to Captain Higgins. Let's see what he has to say about that.
On behalf of the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, the Louisiana State Police, the U.S. Marshals, and every cop and law-abiding citizen from sea to shining sea. I'm Captain Clay Higgins, asking every patriot to stand up, share this video, and send a clear message to the world. We're Americans. We'd rather die on our feet than live on our knees.
Clean, pure drinking water. You can't survive without it. But where do you get it? Alexa Pure Pro is a brand new, groundbreaking, gravity-fed water filtration system that is like no other. The Alexa Pure Pro transforms water from virtually any fresh source into clean, healthy drinking water, pairing the unprecedented superfiltration power of an all-new gravity block core with a hybrid chromatic shell. It removes up to 99.999% of impurities, including bacteria, viruses, fluoride, disinfectants, volatile organic contaminants, and hormones. Filter capacity up to 5,000 gallons. Stainless steel construction, easy assembly, low maintenance. Replacement filters are simple to install. And now, as part of an exclusive limited time introductory offer, you can save $20 off the retail price and get free shipping. This is a limited time offer, so order your unit today and receive free shipping and $20 off. Go to InfoWarsStore.com or call 888-253-3139.